Listen, y'all, reality is gonna test you before it bless you. Reality is gonna test you before it bless you. And that's exactly what we're gonna be talking about today. So listen, if you're somebody that feels like, man, like you're taking all the right steps, like you're doing all of the right things, but you're just struggling to hit that breakthrough, man, you got to go through the test before you get blessed, y'all. So we're going to be diving deeper into that here today in this quick video. MJ the Mastermind checking back in with another video, y'all. So make sure to watch this video until the end so you can really get the full grasp of, this concept, all right? Like, comment, subscribe, all of that as well. So reality is going to test you before it bless you, y'all. So, man, like, throughout the course of life, we grow up, we become adults, and we have an identity that's associated with who we are ultimately. And one thing you have to understand is that your current identity is not going to be the identity that gets you to where you want to go. Okay, so there's currently a gap between who you are and who you need to be in order for you to accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish. Okay, now that gap is very, very important to understand because you are right now not who you need to be to get the outcomes that you want. Okay? Now, going through this process of closing the gap, like how do we actually close the gap? Okay? Now, the process of closing the gap includes all of these different tests. Okay, all of these different tests that we're going to get to make sure that we're actually prepared for the next level. Now, one thing I want to touch on is the importance of being aware enough to actually identify the tests, because most people are going through life right now and they're not even aware enough to get the lesson that's in the experience that they're currently going through, right? Because there's always some lesson, there's always something that the universe is trying to teach us. Right, with the situations, circumstance, and events that we may be going through. Okay, but you have to be aware enough, and this is why I speak so much on reflection, because it's only through reflection are you going to be able to sit back and really understand what the universe and God is navigating you through and understanding the meaning behind it so that you're able to extract the lesson. Right, the important lesson that you need to learn to prepare you for the next level. Now, closing the gap, right? So when we get back to this concept of closing the gap, it's an identity gap. Okay? Now, the test that you're going through is challenging you on the process of evolution that is required. Okay, now what you may be going through may be a test of emotion, right? And preparing you to have the emotional intelligence that is required for that next level. Okay, so maybe you're going through something in life right now that is testing and challenging your emotions, right? Maybe it causes you to get anxious. Maybe it causes you to get angry, maybe it causes you to get sad, right? But all of that may just be training of emotional intelligence to prepare you for that next level of what you are striving to accomplish. It may not be emotion. Maybe it may be patience, okay? Maybe it may be discipline, okay? But the things that you're going through right now, you have to kind of dial in to be able to pick up, okay, what is the lesson from this? What are the changes that I need to make to prepare me for the next level? And that's a whole conversation in itself, right? Of just sitting down and having that dialogue with yourself to understand, like, what needs to change about me to actually prepare me to become who it is that I'm striving to become. Like, what are the changes that I need to make? What are the habits I need to change? What are my perspectives that I need to change in order to be more in alignment? Okay? Now, let's take a deeper dive, into this, because the thing with the test, though, is that sometimes people aren't aware that they're tests. And because people aren't aware that they are tests, what ends up happening is that they get too emotionally involved in the tests, right? And when they get too emotionally involved in the test, it starts a downward spiral, okay? And that downward spiral becomes dangerous because now you start attracting more tests, right? Because the universe is in a constant process of trying to validate that you are who you say you are, and that your identity is congruent with that which you say that you are, but also your identity is congruent with that which you say that you want. Because remember, you don't get out of life what you want, you get out of life who you are. So the universe is constantly, every single day, sending us tests and measuring sticks through life to give us the opportunity to prove that we are who we say that we are, okay? And it's our duty, obligation, and responsibility to be aware enough to see these tests, okay? But when these tests show up, to pass the damn test, okay? Because when you don't pass the test, you are aligning yourself with a past and old version of yourself that got you to where you are today, but not necessarily where you want to go. Okay? So these tests that we're experiencing every single day are just identity tests. These are identity opportunities. Okay? And that's a perspective shift. Right? And that's a frame of mind that can significantly help somebody, right? This is an identity opportunity. Okay, I don't feel like going to the gym today. I know I got to go to the gym today. All right, this is an identity opportunity. This is an opportunity for me to prove that I am this in shape person, that I am this jacked person, that I am this healthy and consistent person. This is an opportunity for me to prove that identity. Okay? And these are the tests that you got to realize and see every single day. You get into the elevator with somebody. Maybe it's a test. It's an opportunity to be charismatic. Maybe it's a test. Maybe it's an opportunity to be confident. Like, are you that confident person? Like, we're going to have these tests and opportunities throughout the day. Every single day is filled with tests and opportunities for you to prove to the universe that you are who you say that you are. If you say that you're a disciplined person, there's going to be tests every day for you to prove that you're disciplined. Whether it's the time you go to sleep, whether it's the time you wake up, whether it's if you're on time to certain things, whether it's if you do what you say that you're going to do, if you just keep your word. These are tests, y'all. Okay? But you have to get high scores. You got to pass the test to be able to rank up and get to that next level, to where the next level of tests are. Okay? You got to be able to pass this level before you get to the next level. So if you feel like you're somebody that's been staying on the same level and things aren't really growing or improving, first, don't get caught up in a physical reality, because there's a delay. Okay? Physical reality takes time to catch up to internal reality. Okay? So first, understand that there's a delay. Okay? Now, the second thing is you have to learn the lessons at your current level. What are the lessons that you must learn now? Right? And it all starts with being aware enough to pick up on those lessons. And that all starts with slowing down. Okay? But embrace the test, y'all. Embrace the test as opportunities. The tests are opportunities for you to rank up, for you to get to that next level, for you to be better in alignment, better congruent, so you can ultimately create that reality that you're striving for, y'all. So embrace the test. The tests are part of the journey, all right? And don't get discouraged, because the tests never end. The next level, there's going to be new tests. The next level after that, there's going to be new tests, right? So embrace the tests so that you can get blessed. All right, y'all? Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you found value from this, if you're loving the content. Much love to everybody that's tapping in. Peace, love, and abundance. Till the next video.